Hello everyone, I'm Tim from Tim's PC and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. Also live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you'd like an awesome new PC and you'd like to see it put together live, send me a message today. Alrighty, so we're back here again tonight. We've got a couple of PCs to put together, and some of the more observant of you might notice that it is a couple of golf sims. So we've been getting a few sales from them actually, so it's really good.
If you like golf simulators, check out Bayside Golf.
Yeah, Christine there in the background trying to steal my thunder, it looks like. But yes, we're building more and more of them. It's really good. It's an excellent product, and we're gonna sort of showcase what Bayside Golf actually bring to the table in terms of what their golf sim is, how it works and stuff. So
after maybe 30 minutes of editing, PC starts to slow down and gets laggy. Would I be best to upgrade the processor and memory like M2 and currently go to Ryzen 5 3600 SSD 500GB PNY, then 16 gigabytes of RAM 3200.
It's most probably got to do with your CPU cooling. Most probably what you're describing to me in the comment there is what we call thermal throttling. So basically it's what happens when the system starts to overheat. Now the engineers are pretty good, especially these days when it comes to designing this sort of stuff in a way that's like idiot proof, right? But there's a couple of things that can happen. So it could be the CPU's overheating, or it might be the motherboard. So the MOSFET, VRM, the stuff around the CPU on the motherboard, that also could be what's overheating and slowing down after a while. The way to investigate that is to run hardware monitor, an app you see me use all the time in PC builds. So you'd want to run that, and you'd want to pay attention to the top line, which will normally be the motherboard at the very top, and have a look at all of the temperatures that it monitors there. Hardware Monitor's a good app. It'll show up with a value in red if it's hit a critical threshold. So start by having a look at that, seeing what the deal is with it overheating. Is it your CPU that's overheating, or is it the motherboard that's overheating? Now, the way that this kind of works is that the CPU getting hot can cause the motherboard to also get too hot. So you might end up with a situation where the CPU itself isn't overheating, but eventually the CPU running really hot will lead to something else on the motherboard overheating. And then once it's overheating, or what the engineers consider to be overheating, then they just cut the power to the CPU to reduce the power and reduce the temperature. So they'll sort it out one way or another, and then the result for you is that the performance drops.
Aaron says, oh okay, I've got the Leon the app for the fan controller, saying at times the CPU gets towards 90 degrees. I use the stock cooler.
Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah, put a better cooler on it. Put a better cooler on your CPU, and that should go a long way to solving your problems.
Even just like a big chunky air cooler.
Yeah. If you're on a budget, or like say liquid cooling makes you nervous, just type in Cooler Master Hyper 212. Cooler Master Hyper 212. You cannot go wrong with a Cooler Master Hyper 212.
Yeah, okay. Aaron says amazing. I did buy a Cooler Master around 6 months ago, but apparently it was within a bad batch because it wouldn't work, so I left the AIO. Where'd it go again? Oh, stupid thing, scrolling on its own. I left the AIO off the list for some time.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you don't have to do an AIO. Like I said, the Hyper 212 will run about as good as most like sort of mid-rangey sort of coolers. So yeah, definitely upgrade that as a first suggestion there for you, because keeping your CPU at a lower temperature there, that'll pretty much solve all your problems. Your system will become more responsive, etc. Okay, so answering Alex's question about he can fit it. If I remember the question right, he can fit a 240mm radiator in his case. And he wants to know about fan direction. So if you want to run an AIO, the thing to consider is, do you want? I mean, I normally put the AIO. I put the radiator in the exhaust position. So I'll normally mount it to the top of the case. The reason is, from my perspective, I can't really go wrong putting a CPU with the radiator in the exhaust position, because then all of the heat that comes off the CPU is being exhausted directly out of the case, and then it's just the graphics card pretty much in here that's generating a lot of heat. So there's nothing I can do about the graphics card. I'm going to have the graphics card's going to be in the case and it's going to generate heat. Okay, so nothing I can do about that. There is something I can do about the CPU heat by mounting the radiator to the top of the case and putting the fans in the exhaust position. Now, if I have to, if push comes to shove, I can put a radiator on the front and we can have cool air coming in and heat being exhausted. The thing I don't like about that is that normally the fans that will be up the top and at the back there in the exhaust position, they'll normally work harder because all of the cool air on the inlet is actually like heat coming off the radiator. The cool air is coming in the front, hitting the radiator, and then the heat from the radiator is being radiated into the case. So it's like two sources of heat inside the case versus one source of heat inside the case. And yes, I know there are other sources of heat, okay? But I'm just simplifying it, right? So hopefully that sort of makes the rationale a little bit clear when it comes to deciding where you want to mount your cooler. Yeah, like I said, it's one of those things where it gets a little bit confusing, and there's no sort of right or wrong answer, but there is a little bit of theory to it, and once you understand the theory, then it becomes trivial sort of thing. Alrighty, so let's get back to Bayside Golf here. We're at towards the end of the video now, so he's set it up. So I mean, as you can see, the product's really good. It has he's put his time and effort into researching this and getting this all set up right. You know, there's no half-ass jobs with cool noodles or whatever. So if you want to set this up, especially if you want setting it up in a rental property, or say like maybe you have this set up at a friend's or relative's place. You want to buy it as a gift for your parents or your dad or something like that, and you want to give him something good that's not going to look half-ass in his mansion that he lives in or whatever. This is definitely the product for you.
As you can see, as soon as we've done that, it starts to move the notifications off. We have GS programming today, which is one of the software packages that we can use to obviously play full sim golf. I'm just going to change the light settings here so that we can have a bit more sunlight. So you see that can move that around. And I'll probably bring you guys a bit closer so we can actually see in detail what this room looks like. Again, I'm using a camera here, so it never really looks as good as up close in person. But as you can see here, the edges, we've got a very, very crisp edge on all of our data tiles here. And as we look at the foliage as well, you can really see a great amount of detail here where we're at Georgia Golf Club. You can see, even from that large long distance there, we can see the flag for the side back, and we can obviously even see undulations in the green and the landscape as well. So this is obviously great for when we're playing sim golf. The realism of this, when we take a look at this, we don't have to kind of zoom in on the green and look at where we're trying to land it. We can almost see that from here, like we've got so much detail. Again, like I said, you can see from here the swing running up to the bottom again is a great feature. You can see that the grass just runs from our enclosure all the way through, and like I said, we can see the quality finish we get on the screen. You may notice some ball blemishes in the top. It's totally normal. With high spinning wedges, they will actually burn the screen, which is totally normal. As you move through the courses and actually have to get to running, they're very, very hard to notice. So, like I said, this screen has been used for quite some time. It's had around 85,000 shots. As you can see, there's very many dents or marks on the screen considering it's had that much played into it. Okay, so we're just going to try and hit 2 shots and see how the screen performs. Obviously, with us videoing this, I'm not sure you'll probably get a good representation of what the sound is like, but it's a very dead sound. It doesn't crack like a lot of other screens will. You can obviously add additional padding behind the screen if you like. The control along the top is in line with the screen. You can use some handling tips just to hang on to like the main scenario, so like a moving blanket or a mattress top-up, and all of these tips will put that behind the screen to get them even more, and reduce the bounce back, and obviously reduce the life of the screen. So this is what comes out in the body. But today we just have a general screen set up with nothing behind it, so I'm just show you how this goes through. As you can see, the ball has bounced back just to the hitting spot. So that was a 5-wood that I've hit there, and as you can see, the ball has a nice kind of bounce back so that it comes back to us, but obviously doesn't come back at any pace. Okay, thank you very much for watching our video on our Bayside Golf simulator enclosures. Hopefully that made it clear on what features our enclosures have, what materials we use, and how they all fit together. And obviously you can see the performance of those as well. This video was mainly put together for a lot of our interstate customers that don't have the option of coming to see the enclosures in person. So I really want to make this video show as much detail as possible and be really transparent around the projections. I'm obviously aware that when we buy things online, they can look fantastic.
That yours says radiator always on top of me. It's nice to
Yeah. Yep, I would agree.
It says I'm trying to fit one of those massive GPUs with radiator on the front.
In terms of general golf packages and simulator packages that we offer, I'm going to do some more videos about this project exceptions. I'll do like projectors, LEDs, PCs, and mats, and kind of other accessories that you have in golf simulators. And the reason I wanted to do that is because in Australia it's very different from the US. So if you go online to find some content, generally speaking it's going to be from people in the USA, and the portfolio of products available there is vastly different to what we have available in Australia. So sometimes you can go down a rabbit hole and get a little bit lost and realise do all this research and come to a final decision on what you want, and realise you can't actually buy that in Australia, or the shipping costs from the US are extortionate. So I'd encourage you all to give us a call or email or live chat, whatever suits you best, to really ask some questions about what golf simulator you're looking for. The key things that we're going to look at is your budget, the space you have, and really what we're trying to get on the golf simulator. With those three things, we can really tell you what something is at this. We can obviously give some more education around if you spend more, you get this, and if you spend less, you get that. So we want to be very transparent with what you're going to get for your money, and that may not even be you buying a Bayside Golf package. We're always going to give you real clear advice on what you think is best for you. So obviously reach out if you want to build your email. Thanks very much for being here, and hopefully see you again soon.
Okay. Sweet as. So that was Bayside Golf explaining, giving you a bit of a crash course as to what their golf sims are actually all about, what you actually get. It's an excellent product. As soon as I saw it and he reached out to me, I was like, yep, definitely, I'll help you out with this for sure. There'll be a huge demand for stuff like that. So I was in a completely different industry. I was in the world of business to business sales, okay, as a sales manager. And believe me, there are a lot of people who are into golf. Like, you might not really think too much about it, but people love golf. And this golf sim setup that Bayside Golf have, it allows you to use your own golf clubs, real golf balls and stuff, and there's something quite compelling about that for your average sort of, like, your average dude between 30 and like 65, 70 retirement plus, for them to, you know, be going out and playing golf like at a work event, and then, you know, being able to come home and practice and stuff like that. People love to get into like the competitive spirit of like work golf days and stuff like that. Like, I absolutely suck at golf. So there's no point in me going along to any golf days. I just get my ass handed to me. I go along for a bit of fun, but I tell everyone I suck. I'm a computer guy. I'm a nerd. I'm not a sportsman. But yes. So we're pretty much done. We're pretty much done with one rig here, and we've got another one to just throw together. So pretty straightforward. Alright, so there's still a little bit of stuff to install there in the background. but that's okay. We can start running the benchmarks on it. So run heaven here, high, no anti-aliasing. And so yeah, just bear in mind that we are doing some stuff in the background here. So it'll be running slightly less than what it would. So up here we've got our GPU, so our graphics card temperature, usage, clock speed and wattage. We've got our MEM here in green, which is our VRAM, so we've got our VRAM usage and clock speed. We've got our CPU, temperature, usage, clock speed and wattage, and our RAM usage. And this number here below RAM is how many frames per second it's currently running at. So yeah, like I said, it's running a little bit below what it would normally because it's doing some stuff in the background. Alrighty, well, thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Hello everyone, this is Buddy, aka the Fluffy Mau. The Fluffy Mau would like to know why you have not subscribed to the Tim's PC YouTube channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a huge favour and subscribe.